it's throwing me off my game right off the bat like that. Wait, hang on. For everyone listening, and if you're watching on our YouTube video or the Spotify, Chris just showed me a Cold Stone cup. The audacity that you have to show me that.
It's not just a Cold Stone cup.
So you mean to tell me there's Cold Stone in there?
It's apple pie a la mode with extra caramel.
Ooh, so a new
Yeah.
flavor?
Yes, it is.
Wait, hang on. Didn't you get apple pie a la mode
At
in
Johnny's in
yes,
near
back in
Chicago.
in
Yes.
Chicago? Yeah,
Yeah.
so you must be a big apple pie fan then.
Well, I'm not really an apple pie fan at all, but if it's got caramel in it, I mean, game's over at that point.
Which there is caramel in apple pie a
Yep.
la mode. Okay.
Well, some apple pies, right? And
Mhm.
apple pies served with ice cream. I mean, of course, they're going to have some caramel in it, and this one was pretty substantial. I've got to build up the Cold Stone right here in Johnstown. It was exceptional.
Well, I think you just helped me figure out what I'm going to be doing this coming Saturday because Tiffany and I were talking about leaving and doing a little bit of exploration, possibly for some shopping for some baby
Yep.
presents.
Yep.
But now I'm going to have to indulge.
Make it a point to go buy that Cold Stone and tell them I sent you, by the
Right?
way,
Oh,
and
okay,
tell
I
them you
will.
heard about it on the podcast.
Oh, wow. Wow. Did you talk to him about the podcast?
I told them. I told the young lady. This young lady was manning the store by herself. She was all by herself, but she was doing a fantastic job. So when it came to me, I said, "Well, here's my problem. I've got to have caramel." We started talking about options. We decided on the option. And then while she was making my ice cream, because you know, at Cold Stone, they mix it all together on the Cold Stone.
Hey, yep, that
I
makes sense.
informed her, yeah, and then I informed her of the fact that I was going to be testing it for tonight's in preparation for tonight's podcast, and I did.
Sure enough.
Yep, and it just so happens there was buy one get one free special, so I did two of them.
Well, I mean, you can't, I mean, that's free ice cream, you know? It
Yeah,
would be a sin not to.
it'd be wrong in so
Hmm.
many ways. Yeah,
I
so
probably would put it in my freezer to save for a rainy day, but
well, that's actually where the other one is. Actually, it's
is it?
yeah,
Nice.
yeah, it's in my freezer,
Very good move.
and I'll be taking advantage of that tomorrow evening, no doubt.
There you now 2 days with Cold Stone?
Yeah,
Dude.
yeah, which is
And to
kind of
think
strange for me because I've never done that. I
well, I
don't.
mean,
I normally
if
don't
you
do.
get the it's justified if you look at it like instead of ordering a medium or a large, just get the 2 smalls and then you throw one back and boom, all of a sudden you're eating the medium in the equivalent of 2 days rather than a medium in 1 day.
That's a
I mean,
good plan. Except this is the large, and that was where the special was, right?
well, on my screen it looks like a small, so
That's good. Well, that's good.
yeah, right. And
The
anyone else
imagined
watching,
small.
you should have just stuck with a small, you know, nobody would have known.
I got to be honest. So she said, "By the way, we're buy one get one free," and I said, "I don't have anybody with me, but I'll put it in the freezer. Thank you very much.
There you go.
Send it my way."
So, did you get both okay, so buy one, get one free, did you get both apple pie a la
No,
mode? In
no.
well, what was the second flavor?
The second flavor has some. It's kind of got a little bit of Rocky Road in it,
Chocolatey?
and then it's kind of a concoction of cinnamon and caramel
Interesting.
and something else. And I'm dying to taste it.
I'm intrigued myself, like, what would that be? Because Rocky Road itself doesn't have cinnamon. Not many flavors do have cinnamon in
I
them,
know.
like, other than apple pie, obviously, but hearing that you got cinnamon in a Rocky Road type ice cream is very
Yep.
intriguing.
And I had her smash some Twix up in it. So yeah, it's quite the
Interesting.
it's hog.
Well, I mean, that's what comes with ice cream, unless you get Halo Top.
Yeah, that's right.
Then you're
That's
hacking it.
right.
But otherwise, if you do it, you got to do it right. Get yourself a
Well,
Cold Stone. Anyone out there, if you know Marble Slab, get yourself some Marble Slab. What else is out there? That's about it.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna be
I
honest.
mean, then you can go to these little shops like the one that
Yep, mom and
I
pop.
found like a gold mine over near Chicago.
Now I know you tried Cold Stone, or you have tried Cold Stone this week. Have you found a mom and pop down there in Denver yet?
Not yet.
Northern Denver. Okay,
Not yet. Well,
you've done a lot of traveling.
I haven't looked really hard because I've been doing a lot of back and forth. You know, I was
Yes,
in Wyoming the week before last. And then your mom had surgery and then I was there for that. And then I was back again this past weekend. And I'm going back this weekend.
man, we're gonna be seeing a whole lot of you.
Yep, yep. I got moved to this project just in time.
That really did work out. I mean, with birthdays and everything going on. Instead of doing a bunch of flights, you kind of just a quick drive over. Well, quick by I mean 4 hours, or 3.5 hours,
Yeah, three and a
close to
half
four.
hours. Oh yeah,
But
I'm saving myself a ton of time.
it's tremendous. It's nice
And
having you
just
close,
jumping in
but
my car and driving over instead of jumping on a plane first and then driving over.
hmm
So yeah, it's good.
yes,
Really
sir.
good.
Well,
And I've
I
been
know.
enjoying my time with the family. Been really enjoying my time with
Yeah, I mean, every time we get to see you, it's like a treat, just because that anyone out there, if you're from, if you have family that travels, it can be a bummer because you miss out on opportunities to hang out with them and stuff like that. So being able to have you closer, it's definitely a blessing, a benefit, and just a treat all in one. And you
Agreed.
totally stole my thunder, or you totally stole what I was gonna say about my ice cream that I tried this week. You stole it from me, especially because not only did you try Cold Stone, but you also tried what I tried. So I mean, like
What did you try?
you, I tried the new Mount McDonald Land Shake at McDonald's.
Yes, and I was there for that, by the way.
That's what I'm saying. It was okay. It was alright. It was McDonald's shake. It was
Appropriately named.
it was, yeah. I mean, it was exciting because of the colors. Very inviting and fun, whimsical.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Definitely, your average. I mean, I drank it. It was good, especially on a cheat day.
Well, it was
But
also unique
overall,
to any other flavor.
would you say it was like a blue raspberry kind of
Hmm.
like it wanted to be an icy flavoring, but
Yep,
it was in a milkshake?
yep. And I enjoyed that,
That's
by the
kind
way.
of You enjoyed it.
I
Okay.
did.
Yeah, I did too. I did.
Yeah,
That's not my ideal. I'm definitely more in the chocolatey peanut butter realm, so it was
yeah,
good, just not
yeah.
my type of good.
Well, I enjoyed the McDonald's. It fit the name,
Hey, you.
McDonald Land
It's
Shake.
time to work.
So I was feeling a wee bit uh, attached to the name, and the flavor, and it's unique for McDonald's to do
It
a
is,
flavor like
yes.
that.
It reminded me of a grimace shake, like that kind of
Very
realm.
good. Yes.
Very, colorful, different, fun, and just another thing to look forward to and try,
And the
you could
Grimace Shake
say.
didn't have it had kind of a minty hint to it, did it not?
Did it? I don't know. I mean, really, like that was such a unique thing. I don't think they actually publicly said what the flavor was, and it could have been vanilla for all we know. That was purple, and then everyone just kind of came up with their own theories with the trends. If you're familiar with the trends that Grimace Shake had
Yeah.
back in the day, definitely
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. 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 Well, I tried my flavor. You tried the McDonald Land Shake, and I did too. And
Mm-hmm. That we did.
we're on a good streak, jumping back into the vein of trying new ice cream.
What are we gonna call that? It's a segment now. So are we gonna call this new ice cream with Noah and Chris, or ice cream flavor of the week topic, or something?
Yeah, I mean, we're looking for unique, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's a condition. If we're going to make this something we do every week, which we kind of have been,
Mm-hmm.
it has to have some rules. So we're looking for something new, something, and looking for what's going to taste good, and identifying the ones that don't taste good for the others.
Mm-hmm.
And ideally from a mom and pop.
Okay. Well, dang it, because you made me want to get Cold Stone, and I may have to hold off on the mom and pop this weekend just because I'll make you a deal. I'll get a new flavor at Cold Stone, but it'll probably be, well, unless I find something. Tiff and I have our tendencies to go and be like, oh, that looks good, and go and try it. But otherwise, it'll be Cold Stone. But I'll at least try a new flavor,
Yeah,
a new
good, good.
concoction
Well, and that's
for
one of the
next week.
things about Cold Stone. It just gives you so many options.
It really does. I mean, you can really pick and choose to your specificality or your liking, which is nice. Yes. So you've done a little bit of traveling as
I
far
have
as coming back and forth from Wyoming. It's not too much on you driving 3.5 to 4 hours every weekend.
no, no, no. I'm not going to do it every weekend. And matter of fact, I'm going to hold off until we leave in about what 4 weeks now,
It's coming up. It is
roughly
coming
4 weeks.
up.
Yep.
Dude, I can't believe it.
So yep. And just making preparation for that trip because it's going to be insane. We're
What
going to
trip are you talking about for all the new listeners out there?
have fun. Well, we're doing a family trip, a family vacation to Glacier National Park. We're going to make a vacation of the trip to Glacier. Then we're going to spend what 5 days in Glacier, and a couple of days of taking advantage of things in Montana and things in Wyoming on the way back down and try out.
Very exciting stuff. Yeah, we're
Yep,
gonna go and just
yep,
explore, road
yep,
trip it up,
yep.
and explore before the winter hits. Get up there, go do last minute exploration, kind of fall time. I feel like it'll definitely be beautiful, especially up in Montana.
Agreed.
And
Well,
anyone out
we're
there, what's that?
kind of just getting into fall, though. I don't think
You think it'll still be summertime?
I kind of feel like we'll still be feeling a little bit of summer. You know.
That's cool with me. I mean,
Yeah.
summer can go for at least another 6 months before winter hits. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case up here in Wyoming. We're
it's
already getting some brisk days or brisk mornings and brisk
yes,
evenings.
yes,
So
yes, yes, and I've been enjoying the crap out of that. Oh my god. And that gets me really excited. But I can imagine. Are you okay after your trip?
are you talking about my recent trip to Florida where I experienced the
I
new
am
Epic
very much
Universe
talking about your
and
recent trip to Florida.
that one where I experienced the new Epic Universe, Disney, the beach. I mean, it was a full-on Florida trip.
Yes, it
You're
was.
talking about that one.
Yes,
Well,
I am talking about that one.
I think I'm actually in a weird state, and you guys out there listening might be familiar, might be able to relate to me in this regard because I think I'm experiencing this thing called post theme parktum depression. See what I did there? Instead of
So you're
postpartum.
not facing postpartum. You're facing
No,
post theme park dumb
partum. I
park.
think it's postpartum.
Well, that's what it would be, yeah. So
Yes.
park tum,
Yeah, if you're playing on words, it would
parkdom.
be post theme parktum depression. And it is hitting hard. I had really, keep myself motivated after, going on a trip like that. And
Well, just to give you an FYI, postpartum or perinatal depression is a form of depression that occurs following the birth of a baby. And no,
okay,
you didn't
well,
have a baby, but you had one of those moments in time that you looked forward to with great anticipation, just like a mom looks
oh
forward
yeah,
to a baby. And this is by no means comparable to postpartum. Where
yes.
this is just a fun play on words, but it's nowhere near that. And your wife, I'm sure, can attest to that.
Yep,
But
she can.
yeah, but so you're feeling post theme park depression.
Yes, life after vacation. I will say this is probably something that everyone deals with, but nobody really talks about. I will start with, when you get that, if you're a big Disney fan like my wife and I, and everyone else, like my family out there, you do something where you go and you do the fireworks. For example, we'll start here. You know that feeling when you go and do the fireworks and they end, and suddenly you're all of a sudden back at the airport security line and you're thinking, yep, that went by way too quick. You
Suddenly,
enjoyed it immensely. You literally went
uh,
from churros for breakfast and now you're going back to Cheerios and it's all of a sudden right in the next day. You're sitting, where did that go?
goes to Cheerios.
Yeah, it
Well,
happens.
I could definitely see why that would be a form of post theme parkdom depression.
My
Yeah,
mind went like my mind immediately thought to itself like what causes that? Is it the before, the during, the is it the overall feeling, the build? I mean, it could probably start with that, which is the build up. You have the build up, the hype cycle, the countdowns, the packing list, the vacation brain. You're just ready to get there and
yeah,
get going.
yeah.
And then you have that theme park high or vacation high to where when you are on your way and you're there, every second feels bigger and it's just full. You're constantly moving. And then all of a sudden, to go from that, what you could consider a high, to a post vacation low, to where you're back at home and you're doing the same old like laundry, unpacking, getting back into the routine of, setting your alarm clocks back on. I mean, you're probably doing that on vacation too, especially if you're a theme parky, because you got to get up
Leaving the
early
alarms
for
on
those road drops. Yes, yes. Very much so.
for those what rope drop.
For the rope drops, yes. If you go to the opening of a theme park, it is called a rope drop. Typically, they open at 8 or 9, depending on which theme park you go to, but you wanna be there fairly early to beat the crowds. Otherwise, you might be waiting a little bit. So if you want a rope drop, you're getting up 6 or 7 o'clock in the
Yeah.
morning to start your
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. Yep.
It can be a
We've done that
long
a time
day.
or 2 or 3 or 4.
We have. I mean, it's a part of it for us. This trip for me, this one that passed by, Tiff and I slowed down a little bit. We didn't go crazy like we've done to where we've done rope drop to park close. That is the full day in the park, just running around, riding rides. You're
Yeah.
getting 20,000 over 20,000 steps in a day. And we slowed it down a little bit having Lincoln with us, my little buddy. Tiffany and I, our 1-year-old son, he actually celebrated his 1-year birthday there. We went and celebrated with him, something that he may not remember, but we definitely will.
Well, you got a
And
lot of
just made it
pictures
all.
and video, so he'll
We
remember
did.
some of it, yeah.
And more to come. Definitely check out my social media, or it would be either Yep I'm Noah, or the link is down in the description. Yep I'm Noah or Noah Avery on Instagram or TikTok, and I should have, if not, will have some videos posted for future that trip in particular, going to Florida and just like a vlog style slash shorts style. So look
Looking
forward to
forward to
that.
that.
hmm
Looking for
Episode 1 has dropped. The first vlog that I've posted for this Florida trip series. The first episode 1 just dropped, and episode 2 will be following behind, not shortly,
Okay.
not long.
Well, that's I guess that's really a good way to bring yourself back into that theme park frame of mind too for a while. For a little
It
while.
does, going back in and checking out all that footage and being able to post it. It kind of, it's able. That's actually why I kind of started it. Was I was able to relive. I was able to share it, which is a big part. But I'm learning that I'm able to relive what I experienced on that trip, and just moments to where Tiff and I enjoyed the whole thing, the whole thing, because it was all vlogged, and being able to go back and relive all of that is cool. I will say, perks of
Well,
social media.
and then on top of that, as our listeners and viewers take a moment to enjoy those things as well, you're bringing joy to them. That's got to be fun, man. That's got to be entertaining as well
Hopefully, I mean, I'm definitely, like I said, this is the
for
first
you.
episode, like second vlog that I've posted. So it's beginner stuff for sure. And if you have any advice, please shoot me a comment or something like that, because I'll take whatever I can get as far as just, any advice on social media on how to improve, or tips and tricks and things, because there's plenty of them.
Yeah, the stuff that I've seen is really enjoyable.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. It's awesome that you're doing that. You just got to make the trip better, stretch the trip out longer, and make the
hmm
post theme park depression less.
Why do you think they hit hard?
Uh, well, it's got to be something to do with what are the things that, there's some things that happen when you're getting really amped up about something, right? Some things that happen with the hormones, some things that happen with your adrenaline, some things that happen with your heart rate, and you're getting really hyped up, to go someplace to do something. It's something that you really enjoy. You always have. Our entire family has, right? So it's got to be something in that frame. Just like getting high forms an addiction.
I think you're spot on. Yeah, it's like our brains crave
Yeah,
the excitement and stimulation
yeah,
that the theme parks have to offer, and that's just the
no doubt,
beginning.
no
It's
doubt,
like a
no doubt.
dopamine playground between the
So
sights, the smells, the music. I mean, it's everything. The
yeah,
novelty.
yep, yep. That's funny that you mentioned that dopamine playground. But the truth in it is pretty spot on.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy if you think about it in detail. I mean, you go, and if you were to compare the two, you're going to somewhere that it's funny because the first time I would definitely use the first time as the best scenario for this, to where you're going and you're exploring this vast land of different sublands and sub experiences, to where every
Right,
corner holds something
right.
new, and then all of a sudden you come back
Emerging
home.
technology.
Yeah, oh, I mean, it's crazy. And then I went to the new Epic Universe, and that was like on a whole nother realm when it comes to the mix of theme park and technology and modern capability and stuff like that. So the
You,
contrast from going from that to going to just back to the everyday routine kind of can be a little bit
you need to make a note of that and
rough.
make it a point to throw out a little blurb on whether or not it's a dopamine playground. I'm sure a lot of
Dopamine
people are
playground.
gonna, yeah. But then you have, in contrast to that, you have people like a very dear friend of mine who I cannot understand for the absolute life of me. I can't understand him. He doesn't like theme parks, and you know who he is.
That's completely fair, you know, I mean, a lot of people will look at theme park goers and call them like a good use of words or a good like a common one is people will call theme park goers as they're an adult, a Disney adult. It's where they're obsessed with what, all things Disney and kind of just that theme park vibe, which Disney goes a little bit more than just your average theme park. But, growing up, it's either people that discovered the magic later or discovered something in particular they grew a passion for, or it's people that grew up on it that kind of kept that. But otherwise, some people just don't connect with it as much.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
completely cool. I mean,
You
at
put him
that
in a
point,
wood shop, and he's going to have a dopamine playground. You know what I'm saying?
yes, yes, that's actually funny because I dare say I know who you're talking about now.
Yes, you do.
And this person, not only is that true, but I don't even know if he would like to go on a regular vacation.
He
Like, I'm trying to think,
doesn't.
like, I was
Well, if
going to
you remember,
use vacations in general would be, it kind of hits this same way that theme parks do, theme parks more so in particular for me.
yeah, yeah. I mean, if you remember, he brought his family, I think partly to appease them, to Florida. Yeah, you were pretty young then, but they came,
I
and
was.
they were wanting to go to theme parks. He wasn't, and he made that
Mm-mm.
very clear. But
I
yeah,
have tried. I have tried, and the invitation was extended. I didn't get far at all. And
no, I can see why.
hopefully, yes. Well, I mean, sometime in the future, maybe things might change as grandsons get older and all that. But
Sure, sure. In the meantime, I'm gonna make fun of him.
yeah,
Continue to,
right. There you
continue
go.
to make fun of him.
Theme theme parks. If you're not big into theme parks, just vacations. If you should at least connect with that, which is going on vacation and coming back home and thinking to yourself, well, dang it, how do I get back into my normal routine after doing this really fun, trip that had a lot of adventures, foods, experiences, all of the above. And then to come back and go back to Walmart. And the downside is whenever you will go into a Walmart, no one's handing you a balloon bouquet like they do at Disney World.
That's great. Nope, that's for sure.
The abrupt shift from high energy to back to routine
Oh, this is my
and just
life, huh?
what comes with it. And hopefully it's an eye opener as well. I feel like if you do feel that way about, your just lifestyle, then maybe don't think you're stuck. Maybe it's time to make a change. Maybe it's time to think, okay, well, maybe I
Come
can
on,
change it up a bit, or
come on,
maybe I can improve or just move on, find a different route completely, and then just make your way, start working towards it,
right on,
whatever it takes.
right on. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's what a great shift into. All right, it's time to make a change. You're welcome. By the way, no, I'm just kidding.
Sometimes hey, it's a team effort. It's a team effort, but sometimes doing
I
something
wasn't
like a
talking to you.
vacation
I
can
was
help
talking to the listeners.
the listeners. Okay, yeah, well,
I'm looking to see if my windows are down. It just started raining.
it's also raining here. That's funny.
Is it?
Can you hear the rain?
No.
It sounds like it's died down, but it was raining pretty hard earlier.
Yeah. It's been kind of raining off and on for most of the afternoon. As a matter of fact, I got wet while putting in my water heater.
Really?
Yeah, but it was refreshing.
Yeah, I bet. It's a little bit chilly. I don't know how much of a difference it is from you to me,
Yeah.
but this rain is pretty cold. It can poke you pretty good in the back.
Yeah, it was kind of chilly, but it felt good in
Was it?
78 degrees. It was
You still
78
have mountain
degrees
rain.
out at that time. What's that?
Really? Okay, yeah, it
Yeah.
got down. Well, you still have mountain rain, don't you? Even in
Yes.
Denver?
Yes.
Okay. It's
Yep.
not until you get to that southern climate that you start getting warmer rain, bigger
Yeah.
raindrops.
Yeah, you got to go further. You got to go to New Mexico really to start getting to that, or further east, which they have it over there, and in Chicago. Nasty.
Mm.
Yep.
You know what's really crazy about that trip? And another part that I um was kind of like it was like a wave because I started the trip off with thinking, okay, I'm going to go a week straight with not thinking about calories and not thinking about, what I'm eating, I'm just going to enjoy and eat everything that I could possibly get my hands on, from sweets to savory to all of the above. I was going to eat as much as I could. It was like a wave for me on this trip because when I started off, I was kind of nervous after being on such an aggressive cut/diet for the past year. A pretty good routine that I
What?
had
For
built
a
up
year?
for a year. I mean, I've been working on it for over a year. Just this different lifestyle routine that was in a calorie deficit. I've been living off of this deficit for quite some
Wow.
time.
Wow.
And the day before I left, or I'm sorry, the day I left, whenever Tiff and I were getting packed up and ready to go out the door to head out, I weighed myself and I weighed 150 on the dot, which was the lowest I have ever weighed, I think, in my life. I don't think I've ever weighed this low in my life, but
And please mention from where to there?
I started at 250. So good point. I started at 250 pounds,
Wow.
and the lowest that I got was which I was working towards that. My goal was to get down as low as I could for this trip because I knew I was going to go kind of crazy. Uh, when I did, I worked my way down to 150 pounds even the day we left for our trip. It was crazy because whenever I started that journey, after the first 2 days of me eating as much sugar as I was, my body was no longer used to it and it had a rough time. I was questioning if I was going to be able to keep it up for the rest of the trip.
Wow. Isn't that something? And
It is,
you remember very well, I'm sure, what it was like to be able to hit a trip like that and just scarf on everything and it not
and not
affect
think,
you.
yep, it was almost like normal eating that much food.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty remarkable. But it's admirable too because you've from 250 to 150. That's 100 pounds.
100.
Uh yeah. And you did it in a reasonable amount of time. You didn't do it fast, which is beautiful. And I'm glad. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, it was a aggressive but time managed deficit. I didn't
Yeah.
go crazy,
A
crazy, but at the
year.
same time, yes, it was within a year that I
Oh
lost
my gosh.
that actually over a year that I lost that full 100 pounds. And another thing that happened to me was whenever the second day passed and I kind of cooled down. And in the morning, I woke up and I had some protein and I had some fruits to kind of even out all the sugar I was eating. Let it sit for a good amount of time. And then after that, I kind of slowly went back into eating more food for the rest of the trip.
Yeah.
And then it was fair game. I just needed that reset. And now I was all of a sudden like, yep, I can start chowing down. And then I went back to eating sweets and eating everything. I could get milkshakes, mainly sweets. It's crazy how strong my sweet tooth has gotten, but just eating like crazy. And then that was whenever the wave hit because then I came back to eating the sweets again. And then I came back home thinking, okay, well, now I've got to get back into the routine. And how hard is that going to be going back into, on top of getting back into the daily routine, getting back into my healthy eating routine on top of it?
How hard has it been?
It actually hasn't been hard at all. It actually has been quite the opposite because I didn't realize when you flip flop your body, when you flip flop it, like I went from being 250 pounds, thinking that I felt good, felt normal, not realizing what 150 pounds feels like and everything that I did with it, which is a constant daily exercise routine and that feeling of normal. It's like, oh wow, this is so good that I don't want it any other way. And I was able to keep the exercise up on this trip by walking over 20,000 steps a day for 6 days straight and a little bit of, workouts here and there, not crazy, but definitely vacation mode. And then to come back and think to myself, well, I want to keep that going. It wasn't too difficult. I was devastated I wasn't able to eat a churro every day. I'm going to be honest.
For breakfast?
For breakfast, yes, of course. I was eating almost every probably every hour of that trip, especially at Disney and Epic. I was just chowing down every chance I could on different sweets and treats, and to go from that and then to get back into my deficit, which is a few meals, 2-3 meals a day, and that's it. That was tricky, but after a couple days of kind of going back into it, it was just like clockwork. So it wasn't too difficult, but just being aggressive in it, and actually, like I was saying, the transition from my body, my flip flop, going from 250 pounds to this 150 pounds, I actually recently learned that I now need to flip it. So you eat 2,000 calories a day, that's considered your maintenance. And then if you work out, that can bump up to 2,100, 2,200, and so on. And depending on where you're sitting at, now that I'm at such a low deficit, if I keep deficiting, I'm not gonna, I'm gonna get too skinny and too thin, which
Yep.
is a crazy contrast from dealing,
Yes, it
with
is.
overweight for the past
Yes.
25 years.
Yeah.
And
Actually get to a point
now
where
I'm
you
like,
can't gain weight.
yes, and now I'm like, oh, I actually have to work harder to eat more. Like I now have to factor in I need to eat more, but it's a tricky situation because I can't just go, oh, I need to eat more. Let me go eat a massive thing of Cold Stone every day. No, no, no,
No.
no, no. Because
Right.
that's
Exactly.
straight sugars and fats. I need
Yep.
to replace it with proteins and fibers and healthy alternatives. That'd be the main goal. But I need to eat more of it, which is crazy because it was actually a treat being able to come back and kind of transition into that so that way I could hopefully build more muscle than fat and actually gain more weight. Get back up into the 160, 170 range, but straight muscle. That'll definitely take time, maybe another year or two until I reach that. But as long as like I've said in previous episodes, if you remember consistency
Yes.
and deficit,
Yes. Yes.
understanding your body, you can
Yes.
definitely get there one step at a time.
Absolutely. That is really impressive and admirable.
Thank you. It's been quite the journey.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see that.
Yes.
And I could see how you could get too skinny. You've been just, the fuel, the furnace has been kicking in every day and just burning, you know, and
Yeah, your
nothing to
body
burn.
starts living off of itself.
Yeah.
Yes, you learn to routinely eat that same amount every day, and then your body's just naturally eating off of itself. But then there's a point at which you have nothing left to eat off of. And so now you need to bump that calorie intake
Yep.
so it has
Yep.
energy to keep
Yep.
you going
Yep. Keep the calories
due
coming
to
in and
having a lack of storage.
keep the calories coming in for fuel, right? While you're building muscle.
So
That's
I got a good question for you.
what's that?
If you had one piece of advice as far as your daily life, or I guess I could use mine as an example, my daily life and the theme park life, how could I incorporate that theme park life back so that way in my daily life, so that way I could keep the momentum going even after vacation?
Well, now you got to remember, it's not fair asking me because for a little bit over a year, I did some work for Disney, and you guys were in the theme parks constantly. Do you remember that?
We were. I
You
do,
know,
yeah. I mean, that's what I think kind of fueled my obsession behind it and everything that came with it, the passion.
fueled the addiction, right? And I can
Yes, you
see
could say
that. I
that.
can see that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know about you, but I feel like I could get sick of the parks at that point and get
Working for
tired.
them.
And well, no, having unfettered access to them as we did for that long of a time, especially, and it kind of surprised me how much you guys enjoyed the parks in
Well, not
spite of
many
the fact
people
that
in
you
the
had.
world get to enjoy stuff like that. That was a very unique circumstance. Not many people get to enjoy something like that to where they can just go to not only a theme park, but Disney World, all of the
All of it.
amenities of Disney World for a very discounted, if not free price.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
That kind of, kind of changes the
Easy.
game.
Uh, and I,
Yes.
and you know what? Where it really kicked in and caused me to think, okay, I don't want this much of this was the fact that while there, I could see some of what creates the magic. I could see the behind the scenes and some of what creates the magic, people were ruining,
Hmm.
and some of what creates the magic was becoming slightly too commonplace. So
Yes.
there are benefits. Disney was designed. All of the Disney parks were designed with the intent of people being able to vacation to them. And people only get a couple weeks of vacation a year. So at the very most, you get a week or two of those parks. Not to mention they're kind of costly, right, for most people. And so that makes it even that much less frequent of a place to be.
It's very true.
So the magic is maintained, right? And as a 60-year-old guy, I'm like, okay, that's good. I'm good with that. I can handle that. Now, you and your brother and sister happen to really enjoy them. So for that reason, I enjoy it more than I probably matter of fact, I guarantee you, I enjoy it a whole lot more now than I would because of that experience that we had.
Mhm.
So it's not a fair question to me, right?
That's
Now,
true.
now, now it's also a good fair question in that, or a fair question to me, because I can tell you how you can do the same thing.
What do you mean?
Well, there are constant opportunities to do stuff for Disney. And one of the perks to doing work for Disney is unfettered, unlimited park access with
Wasn't it
steep.
limited? It was limited, but you kinda had you had
Well, I had free tickets and we never could use them all.
yeah, that's true. I mean, it was plenty. It was limited. It wasn't like an annual pass that you were given.
It was the equivalent.
It was the equivalent, yes, yes,
Yeah.
I will say. At the time,
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
may have changed. That was how long ago? 10 years?
Oh, I don't remember when that was. It was 2009.
So 16 years. That's a long time.
Yeah. It was
Things may have
2000,
changed.
2008, 2009.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, with that being said, I mean, what about like do you ever feel that do you get what I'm saying when that post vacation, let's take it a step further, but just vacation in general, do you ever feel that feeling of post vacation depression in a way or blues to where you're no longer on that vacation?
Well, so you've had a unique experience growing up with us. I, on the other hand, I grew up in a middle class family, 1,200 miles away from Disney, right? So if I was going to go there, it was going to, and especially as a family, it was going to be with a lot of planning, a lot of preparation financially, right? We were only able to do it every couple, 3, 4 years, as a family. So I didn't get it that often. And as a result, I really look forward to it. When we got done with the vacation, we were all usually so worn out that I didn't have a chance, you know? And then on top of that, I wanted to get back home and play football with the other kids in the neighborhood and build my tree house that I was working on,
You had things to
or
look
build
forward
my
to
go-kart.
coming back home.
Absolutely.
I think you
Absolutely.
just kind of nailed it on the head right there. I didn't even realize that. Like coming back to something you look forward to can be a major benefit. In my
Yes.
circumstance, it's a little bit different because my passion is beyond Disney, I will say. It's beyond the theme parks. It's actually Florida and being able to possibly venture down there maybe as a more permanent scenario, both for Tiffany and I. But it's the whole Florida scene, and I think that kind of just fuels it even more as far as the
Well,
depression hitting.
and that pretty well sums it up. If you're wanting to so earnestly to live in that kind of an environment and be closer to the parks so you can do the
Yes,
parks
it's a
thing.
best of both worlds type of
Yeah.
scenario.
I could see that post parkdom, theme parkdom depression kicking in, right? I never had it. And don't get me wrong, when we came back from the parks, back to St. Louis from the parks as a young person, especially, I was kind of bummed it was over, right? But
Yeah, of course.
I had so much to do, I didn't
Yep,
care.
you were gonna go play football with your friends and get back right
Yep.
back into it.
Yep.
So
And I had a really, really strong youth group at our church,
that's
you
awesome.
know?
Yes,
Yeah.
and coming back to that can be a
Yeah.
tremendous just a group, a fellowship, of
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was also a very different world back then. I didn't know what a
Yes.
cell phone was. We didn't have them. There were
Yeah.
no cell phones, right? There were no computers. Computers were just coming out and there was all this DOS language stuff and it was nothing like today.
Beep.
Yep, yeah, 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 yeah. I didn't know what a modem was. We didn't have modems. We weren't that we the internet was not a thing,
So
right?
your social life was not restricted, but
It
consisted of
was.
your town.
All I knew of was my circle that consisted of my family. We had a nice substantial family. We had a lot of people around and we had a youth group and we had football games and building my go-karts and and building stuff. And then when I got my license, building cars, and then girls, right? So there was too much to preoccupy me from that. And that makes a difference. It really does. I can see
It
that.
can, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So
to go
what you need to do is go ahead, make Disney the next job that you do.
ooh, now that's
Start
an
looking.
idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then after what you just explained, you said that it kind of takes away. Do you feel as
It
though that might
does.
happen with me?
It did. It most certainly did, right? And on top of that, we were spending time on the back lot and doing commercials and doing all kinds of stuff. And man, we were there overnight and we were behind the scenes in every area of that park, every area of both Magic Kingdom and what's the other Disney parks. We never did much in Animal Kingdom, but otherwise, but I mean, we
Which
were,
Animal Kingdom is underrated, by the way, but yes, carry on.
yeah, it is. It really is. But I mean, it's still, once you go to work doing stuff for Disney employed in a way to where you're not only getting paid, you're also getting the perks, right? It will remove some of the magic. It will.
Yes.
Absolutely will. You know. And matter of fact, I'll go as far as to say that was a conversation that was had amongst my peers
Mhm.
around the Disney backlot. The magic wasn't there. What was there though was the magic for our kids.
Yes,
All of
and
them said the same thing. If it wasn't for my kids, I wouldn't come back here,
right?
right? So, and you guys kept that alive,
Well, why would
and you
I
do
mean,
still
why
today.
would you want to, especially by yourself, if you're already an adult, you're alone by yourself, and you spend the whole day at the park. Who wants to go back to their job and pay, for free, go back to their job after working an 8-hour shift there? And kind of
That
that
too.
mentality kind
Yeah,
of
well,
can even
yeah,
linger into a job like Disney or
and I was
any
doing
theme park.
13, 14 hour shifts.
Were you really? I
Yeah,
didn't know you could do that.
yep, yep, and it was crazy. It was crazy, but I mean, it was just what I was doing. I was making more money, and it was good. Life was better that way.
Mhm. I mean,
But yeah, man,
win-win scenario.
and one way to get it out of your system is take a gig working for Disney. It'll get
Try
it
it
out of your
out.
system.
So
It will.
you're saying I should at least try it out.
Well, I'm saying if you have a passion for it, you're at an age, and as was I at one time, an age where it's just like, I really want to do this. Go. Do. Now, you've got more at stake for you than I did at your age. You've got much more at stake. You've got a really good job you're going to be leaving. You've got a really beautiful house you'll be leaving. So these are things that you have to make a lot more preparation for. For me, it was just like, okay, I'm going,
Easy
right?
peasy.
Right. It was. So be careful what you wish for, is what they say sometimes. And,
Yes.
and,
But at the
and
same
that can
time,
play true.
if you're in a if even though you feel as if you have it all or you're in the perfect spot or scenario to other people, but you don't feel as if you're there, don't let that stop you from making that jump, even if the jump is,
Yeah.
is a little bit of a work in progress. You don't want to jump right off the bat like Chris over here does, to where he just just goes and does
Used to.
immediately. Used to,
Used
okay,
to.
used to,
Yeah.
but you can still have you can still pursue what you truly want to do. Understand
Absolutely.
you're only given one life, and to think that just because you might be in a sweet spot right now, that's where you have to stay forever, even though you're not happy. Mm-mm. That's not life.
Even as a married man, and I'm talking to the listeners or the viewers, whichever you are right now.
You haven't been
Even
talking
as
to
a
them
married
this whole
man,
time?
well, yeah, sort of, you and them, but as a married man, I did have a free spirit, and I didn't feel much trepidation when it came to making a move all the way across the country to pursue a passion that I had. And so, the thing that has to be remembered, though, the thing that must be remembered is you're going to make mistakes, you're going to fall down, you're going to screw up. Always pick yourself back up and be in a relationship with God and be a good man, and it'll all work out. It just does. It just
Just
does.
does.
Then all of a sudden, you find yourself in a place where you've got these beautiful children, beautiful grandchildren, they have beautiful spouses, and they're good people, and you're the richest guy in the world, especially when you don't have any money in
Wow. Or toilet paper.
the God. Yeah. That's funny, but true. But
Yeah,
true.
I mean, it is a part of it. I mean, sometimes
I was rich. Maybe I didn't know any better, but now I am.
when you say rich, what do you mean rich? Rich
Well,
in life?
so people ask me all the time, why is it you say that? Because I do. I say it frequently. I'm one of the richest guys I know with no money.
So rich in what?
Well, first and foremost, I'm rich in God. I'm rich in God. I was raised in a family that taught me, rightfully so, that a relationship with God is what everything should be based on. Everything. Everything must be based first and foremost on pleasing God and being in a relationship with God, and then your spouse and your family, if at all possible. Eh, but so I have that, and having a relationship with God and have being in a relationship doesn't just mean okay, I obey God. No, I wake up in the morning, I have a conversation with Him. It begins with thankfulness, and being thankful is one of the most rewarding things, regardless of what I am just in. I'm very thankful, and it's one of the most rewarding parts of being in that relationship with God. And then he gives me just freely, gives me peace, gives me hope, gives me contentment, gives me a vision, gives me a lot more. He gives me more appreciation even than I already had. And that's one of the beauties of being in a relationship with God. Then on top of that, as if that wasn't enough, I've got one of the most beautiful families in the world. Of course, I'm biased, right? But I've got one of the most beautiful families in that they're good people. They love other people. And that's that love. Love is a big part of it. If you'll remember, if you don't, now you know. Love is one of the greatest commandments in the Bible. And that's the reason why I love everybody. I don't care who you are, what race, what ethnic background. I love people. I just love everybody. I always have. And so having that in your family is so rewarding. I can't even put a value on that. I can't possibly say, okay, it's worth this much. No, man, it goes beyond what I could possibly comprehend having that love. And so my family loves people, loves God, and loves each other. And that is worth everything. Our family doesn't have the normal schisms that a lot of families struggle with. Envy, there's no envy, there's no strife, there's no bitterness. There might be little twinges of something come up every once in a while that each person individually struggles with, but they deal with it. And being in a relationship with God helps us deal with that even that much faster.
You got to be careful there because we are far from perfect. I
I
mean,
never
let's be
said you were
honest.
perfect. I never
No,
said,
no, I'm
well,
saying like
well, you are though.
one of the biggest things that make a family is you guys deal with fights. Fights happen,
Yeah.
disagreements happen, all of that happens. It's the coming back and communicating to each other and realizing, you know what? I'm sorry, let's move on, or I
Yeah.
disagree with you, but I will understand and accept you still because of the fact that we're family type of deal.
Yes.
And that's what makes
Yes.
a family, and
Yes.
be
And it's
careful just
perfect to
because
me.
yeah.
It's
Well,
perfect
okay.
to me.
To you, yes.
Yes. Yes, and that's what matters, right? So somebody may look at my family and say, "Man, dude, they shouldn't have thought about that." Well, I don't care. We're a family. We do fight every once in a while, or we have a disagreement, right? We have
As does
disagreements all
everybody.
the time, and we talk about it. And one of the things about our family is that when we have a good disagreement, we talk, and we talk about it with kindness in our hearts, not getting mad at people and wanting to stab them in the back or push them off a cliff.
That's just
No,
yeah, that those are both two forms of passion. It's just you gotta be careful and kinda check yourself and be like, "When am I passionate? How am I handling my passion?" Because sometimes it can come off a little aggressive, sometimes it
sure,
can be a
sure,
little too much, even if the situation doesn't call for it, and you just gotta understand
yeah.
where you
And our
ride
family,
that.
our family has been blessed. Wow. I cry frequently for that reason in my relationship with God because He has blessed us. And then, as if that wasn't enough, He's given me intelligence and a wonderful career. And even though I do a lot of traveling, I'm also given some freedoms to see my family moderately frequently compared to some of these guys, and the church family. Man, dude. And the list goes on and on and on and on. So, yeah, it's good. I'm one of the richest guys I know with no money in the bank.
Alright, there you have it. Now you see.
Yeah,
Well,
we've been rolling for a minute, Bob.
we have been.
Yep, it's 7:05.
Yes, it is. Hang
It
on.
is 5 after the hour because in a lot of places it's not 7:05, 6:05 or 8:05.
Well, I guess not to bring up the topic too much, but kind of ending on the subject that we started with. As far as just Tiffany and I's passion, it's definitely more than just the theme park lifestyle. It's the Florida lifestyle and everything that comes with
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
and being able to kind of hopefully get down there one day. So, any advice on that? Once again, I think I said that in previous episodes, but any advice on how to get down there would be greatly appreciated in the comments. Otherwise, it's just hopefully we can get back down there so that way we can enjoy Tuesdays at riding roller coasters after work.
All right. Let me know how that goes.
Yes. Yep.
Good luck, and
Yep.
I mean that sincerely. Good luck. I don't want you to lose. I don't want you to go to Florida,
What
because
did we? I understand that, but okay, I'm gonna be honest. Kind of have to accept it, whether or
right,
not it happens sooner or later. But
right.
what do you
I
think?
accepted that a long time ago.
What strategies can we leave with the listeners as far as what they can do to keep the magic alive? I guess keep the magic alive even past the vacation, the trip.
Well, that would be wow. That would be wow. I'm not sure how that. I mean, okay, so some of the magic for us is not just going to the theme parks. We're going to experience some of that magic in the next 4 weeks.
What's the take home from what they've listened from this episode? What's the take home? Like, how can they keep the magic alive come after post vacation, post theme park vacation, or post vacation in general? Like, basically, maybe plan the next trip.
So avoid post theme park
How to avoid the
Pardon?
post vacation blues, the post vacation depression.
Post vacation depression avoidance. Well, I
I'd
don't
start
have
with I would start with like planning the next trip right whenever you get back. You know you're gonna go on
perfect.
another vacation. Maybe plan the
Perfect.
next trip or
Perfect.
incorporate some Disney-esque type things. Like maybe you really are a fan of Disney, so throw in some Disney recipes, get a Disney cookbook and throw in some recipes that you can make at home and you can enjoy and stuff like that. Or of course, my go-to is going to be, doing like ride POVs, ride point of views, or maybe doing some Florida
Excuse me?
vloggers
What point of views?
ride point of view. So basically,
Yes,
watching
absolutely.
the theme parks at home,
Yep.
being able to do that, and still get a sense of that magic even at home, or watching the Florida vloggers, or Florida playlists, or maybe do like a get together with your family if they still have the passion that you did, or if you went on the vacation with them, do a get together to where you guys come back and do like a vacation themed night or talk to where you guys can come and recap on how fun your trip was.
That's great.
But, I guess it's just, yeah, just being able to take it back home and just some good tips and tricks and pointers there for you.
You know exactly what to do to avoid the postpartum or the
I
post
would
theme
think
park
that,
depression.
it's a good starting point. And then, I guess I don't want to flip the script and all of a sudden change it. But then I have that thought in the back of my head, and this may be because of just me thinking too much. If we never left, would it even feel special like it does right now?
The
Is that what
answer
makes it
is
special? Is it the leaving?
exactly. You've got to leave it to make it really seem that much more special or fond. That's very good. Dude, you knew
So not to
exactly
go
what you
too
needed.
not to go too crazy, not to get too deep, but maybe appreciate the fact that because you got to do that experience, now you have those memories and you get to take them home and possibly look forward to them again in the future. But in the meantime, cherish what you have, cherish what you enjoyed,
Yes.
and
Yes.
incorporate some things to make it fun even at home. I would leave it at that. That's kind of the best way to break out the mold, if you would. Get out of the same routine after coming home from a vacation.
That's one of the ways your son is very blessed because you and Tiff are pretty good at that anyway.
We may have already planned like 3 trips.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep,
Yep.
back to Florida.
And we're planning our vacation, our family vacation next year in those areas.
Don't even get me started on that. Uh, our trip that's coming up here shortly to Montana, we are actually planning on doing a what do we call it? We're going to do a
pitching.
Oh, man.
We're going to do a
Oh,
pitch.
okay, yes. On
Yes.
this vacation, everyone in the family is going to pitch their next vacation that we will come together and determine which one's the best. Whoever gets the most votes will be, I guess, the next vacation that we go on next year.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing it. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to plan to make every single person there love my vacation. That's the goal.
Well, your siblings better. Now, think about that, though. You're pitching for 27. And I was already planning 26 to be in those areas.
What do you mean 27?
So if you'll notice the thread that I established on that,
Okay.
come prepared to pitch 2027,
I did
because
not.
2026 is already taken by, just like I told everybody this past Sunday, we're spending this year in remote areas and in the mountains and with nature. Next year was going to be with tech and people. And of course, theme parks provide a lot for that.
More traditional vacation in a way. Well, I guess they're both traditional, but theme parks
So,
very traditional.
so if your pitch is for theme parks, which I'm sure it will, right?
Maybe.
Then that just might be for 28. Because
For
after doing
28.
the theme parks in 26, then 27 we're going to have to, go back to nature, most
Well, we'll
likely, if
just
we're
have
going to
to
be
wait and
fair.
see.
If we're being fair, but these are things that can be established on your pitch.
There we go. Yeah, because it's my vacation. I can pick what I want. I can do what I want
Yes, you
to.
can. Yes, you can, and you can even pitch when we do it. So I like it. I'm
We'll
looking
talk more
forward.
on that in the future whenever we come
Yes,
back after our Montana trip, and we'll let everyone know what kind of came of that pitch between the family and
well,
everyone giving their
now that you've
opinion.
teased it on the blog or in the podcast, we've got to film it.
Ooh, okay, that might be a good idea. We may have to do that.
We're going to have to. We have to.
Yeah, I think you're right.
We're obligated now. We've got to film the pitch. The pitch is.
All right. Well, you guys have that to look forward to, but that's definitely a good month out. So, in the meantime, make sure to check us out on social media. Check us out. Give us a follow so that way you can hear next week's episode on our next ice cream flavors and whatever else has to come from it. Who knows where we'll go? Like I said at the beginning, welcome to Wyoming's #1 podcast for what?
Yes. Yes.
For questionable advice,
Yes.
accidental wisdom, and
Yes.
deeply unnecessary storytelling, which is exactly happened this entire podcast. So,
Love
but
it,
I do
though.
have a question for you guys. What's your cure for post-vacation blues? And who else out there has a Florida obsession like us? Do you guys have any advice on how to handle that living in a place like Wyoming? Maybe we get into some conversations about how to bring Florida or, theme parks. Like, what do you guys do? And yeah, if anything else.
No, man, that was it. There was a lot tonight that we had to
Yes.
cover. And so, and, of course, the theme is how to get rid of the theme park post theme park partum
Post
blues.
theme parkdom depression.
Yeah, how to
That's
do
kind of
that.
complicated. Post vacation blues. And with that, make sure to live life to the fullest. Thanks for listening.
Amen. Right on, Bo. Peace.